UFT, Unified Functional Testing, Automation Testing. Real-Time Scenario-Based UFT, Unified Functional Testing, Automation Testing. Interview questions and answers. Part 1. Scenario 1. The application under test, AUT, has dynamic object properties. Your script keeps failing during playback. Question 1. How will you handle dynamic objects in UFT? Answer. Use descriptive programming or regular expressions in object properties. Update the object repository with smart identification or dynamic properties. Use setTo property to dynamically change an object's property at runtime. Example: VBScript. Browser MIC class equals browser page MIC class equals page dot webedit name equals user underscore dot asterisk set admin. Scenario 2. A test needs to validate multiple sets of data from Excel. Question 2. How do you perform data-driven testing in UFT? Answer. Use the data table, UFT's built-in data table, to fetch and iterate test data. You can also use external Excel files and import them at runtime. Example: VBScript. Datatable.import sheet c:\testdata.xlsx 1 global. For I equals 1 to datatable.getRowCount. Datatable.setCurrentRow I. Browser page dot.webedit name equals username set datatable user dt global sheet. Next. Scenario 3. You need to test the login functionality for multiple user roles. Question 3. How would you manage reusable code in UFT for such scenarios? Answer. Use function libraries .vbs to write reusable functions. Use actions, reusable actions, and call them with parameters. Use modular framework to create smaller reusable blocks. Example: VBScript. Function library.vbs. Function login user pass. Browser b page p.webedit name equals user set user. Browser b page p.webedit name equals pass set pass. Browser b page p.webbutton name equals login click. End function. Scenario 4. The application crashes randomly during testing. Question 4. How can you handle unexpected pop-ups or errors in UFT? Answer. Use recovery scenarios in UFT. Define trigger events and recovery steps like pressing escape or closing the window. Alternatively, use on-error resume next and custom error handling functions. Scenario 5. Your team needs to run test cases as part of a CI/CD pipeline. Question 5. How do you integrate UFT tests with CI tools like Jenkins? Answer. Use UFT Test Batch Runner or ALM test sets via Jenkins plugins. Install UFT Automation plugin in Jenkins. Trigger UFT scripts from Jenkins using batch scripts or command line. CMD. C:\program, whitespace files, whitespace, left parenthesis, x86 right parenthesis / micro whitespace focus / UFT / bin / UFT.exe test path. Scenario 6. You need to validate that a specific record is inserted in the database after a transaction. Question 6. How do you perform database testing in UFT? Answer. Use ADODB, connection object to connect to the DB. Write SQL queries to fetch results and compare with expected values. Example: VBScript. Set con equals create object, ADOB, connection. Con, open DSN equals DB name, UID equals SAR, PWD equals pass. Set IS equals con, execute. Select asterisk from users where ID equals 101. If is.eof then Reporter.report event MIC fail, DB check, record not found. Else. Reporter.report event MIC pass, DB check, record found. End if. Con, close. Scenario 7. The object repository is growing too large and hard to maintain. Question 7. How would you optimize object identification in UFT? Answer. Use descriptive programming instead of storing everything in OR. Use shared object repositories, TSR, and associate them with actions. Use smart identification only when necessary. Use automation frameworks to minimize redundancy. Scenario 8. Application UI frequently changes due to agile releases. Question 8. How do you make your UFT scripts more maintainable and less flaky? Answer. Use Page Object Model, POM, or keyword-driven framework. Use descriptive programming and dynamic object handling. Create centralized functions and element handlers. Perform regular object repository audits and use parameterization. Scenario 9. You need to test multiple environments, QA, UAT, prod. Question 9. How do you manage environment-specific test configurations? Answer. Use external environment files, XML, INI. Read environment data, URLs, credentials, etc., dynamically in script. Example. VBScript. Environment.load from file c:\env/QA_env.xml. URL equals environment, value, app_URL. Scenario 10. You are automating SAP-based application with UFT. Question 10. What are key considerations when automating SAP apps using UFT? Answer. Ensure SAP add-in is enabled in UFT. Use SAP GUI scripting. Use proper object synchronization, wait property, exist, etc. Handle SAP tables, drop-downs, and status bars carefully as they behave differently. Question 11. How do you validate a PDF content using UFT? Use Adobe Reader.com object, or export PDF to text using tools and compare. Alternatively, use third-party libraries or command line PDF to text tools. Question 12. What is the difference between descriptive programming and object repository approach in UFT? OR, predefined objects, easy to use, but hard to maintain in dynamic applications. Descriptive, code-based object definitions, more flexible, better for dynamic UIs. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you learned something new today, and subscribe for more hands-on QA and automation content. Keep learning, keep growing.